All right, so if you want to be more persuasive, get more people to buy your product, your service, or your experience, stick with me in this video because I'm going to give you a little tactic that is going to seem really counterintuitive, but it's going to increase your conversions like crazy. And it doesn't even matter what niche you're in, what industry you're in, because this is all about the buyer and their psychology. Let's start with what the conventional wisdom says about the reasons that compel people to buy something. When I first started learning about things, I'd look at it and it said that it was supposed to be readily available and it was supposed to be very easy to get. You were supposed to be easy to do business with, and all of these things stacked up with something that the buyer wants and needs would equate to a sale. But what I've found in practicality, in actual work, is the arc is a little bit different. And I'm not making an argument here that you shouldn't be easy to do business with, but what I want to share with you guys is this concept that I call friction pacing. I'll write it up here. So, thinking that there shouldn't be any friction in the buying process, like a frictionless buying process, isn't one that's going to be the most effective when it comes to the persuasion aspect of this. There needs to be some friction in it. It just needs to be maybe in a little different place than you were thinking about. So let's say that there is a defined line of time. This is a timeline from when a prospect first hits your message to all the way over here when they buy. Now, there's a couple things that go along on the timeline. They might hit, the first thing is your messaging, right? The things that you say in your marketing about your product, your service, or your experience that get them interested in learning more about it. This is where your hook would come in. The powerfully persuasive language that you use in your headline, your subheadline, or even just the way that you punch up your copy inside of any sort of sales video that you have. Once you get through your messaging, then you get to a point of qualifying. Qualifying is the step where is the prospect somebody that can come in and buy this product? Is it something that they can afford? Is it something that will benefit them? We go through these stages of qualifying, especially when we're selling things that are of a higher ticket, things that are over $5,000, $10,000. We want to have some level of qualification for our prospect before we'll even take the next step. Consider you can't be a 19-year-old walk into a Ferrari dealership and say, I want to test drive that one. They qualify you first and want to make sure that you're a possible prospect for them versus somebody who's just looking. If you're not qualifying prospects in your business and you've got a higher ticket type of offer, whatever it is, that's 5 to 10,000 plus, then there needs to be a stage of qualifying the prospect before you even get into the offer stage. Offer stage is your sales conversation. This is where you find out everything that you need to know from your prospect that are the cues that have them tell you what you need to say in order to get them to buy. I'll cover sales in a different video. This isn't about that, but the offer process is what gets people to the next step, which is the point where they say, yes. Yes, I want to buy that. That is this point right here in the timeline that we've got of our buyer. After that, what we've got is them paying for your services or your product and them receiving. Your product, your service, or your experience. So there's a number of things that happen in the timeline before they get to the yes, and then there's a few things that happen in the timeline after they've already said yes. Now, here's the thing when it comes to friction pacing, because there are easy portions of this where it should be easy for the prospect, and there are portions of this where it should be hard for the prospect if you want it to be powerfully persuasive. So it works like this. At the beginning, it should be easy. It should be very easy for your prospects to come in contact with your message. So this is out there in the marketplace. It's readily available, whether you're running ads on Facebook, whether you're doing direct mail, whether you're doing YouTube ads. Sometimes I even still see billboards that work still. It should be very easy for customers to come into contact with your message. Then as you move along this progression, it should be hard in the middle. In other words, it should be hard or perceived as hard to qualify for whatever your offer is. And your offer, well, it should be tough on them emotionally if you create urgency and scarcity around the offer. So it's easy at the beginning, it's hard in the middle, and then once they get to this point where they have said yes, then it becomes easy again. So friction pacing means that it should be easy, then hard, then easy. To prove that this model works, let's take a look at the home shopping industry. This is something where direct response marketing is paramount. You do this and you sell more stuff than anybody else. People don't recognize how much obscene money direct response marketers make when it comes to online shopping. So one of the biggest gurus of all time in this made a little tiny change, changed 2 words of copy that ended up setting all sorts of sales record. Her name was Colleen Zott. She's passed away now, but she changed one little thing. By the way, she did all of the infomercials for Nordic Track, which I'm sure if you're of the right age, you saw a ton of those, maybe you even bought a Nordic Track. But what she did is she changed one word. It used to be, operators are waiting, please call now. So when the person was giving the pitch that was doing the marketing in this promo and this online or this TV shopping thing, that's what they would say. Operators are standing by, please call now. She changed a couple of words. If operators are busy, please call back. Only changed 3 words in that entire thing. And that is what skyrocketed their sales based on this particular principle right here. All I did was codify it and give it a name. But what she did was she created the perception of demand and social pressure in order to take up the product. Now, nobody really wants to be the first one in. Nobody wants to be the one that's the first buyer or the first investor or the first customer, whatever. They want to feel like there are other people doing the same thing. By changing those couple of words from operators are standing by, please call, to if operators are busy, please call back, it creates friction in the middle of the buying process. And it creates the perception of, one, oh, other people like me are calling right now and they want the exact same thing, so I must not be crazy for wanting this. There's already other people that are doing this. And 2, I'm making it a little hard to get because, well, man, if they're busy, I've got to call again, which means that there's so much demand that I may not get one of these things because there's only so much supply because, by the way, they created urgency and scarcity inside of the offer. I better call right now. So when you get a friction-paced offer, where it's easy on the front end, hard in the middle, and then easy on the back end, you are going to increase your conversions on whatever offer you have. So put this into practice right away, and you will see this work within the next 7 days. I promise you that. Oh, and before I go, I almost forgot, if you got value out of this business, please give me a comment below that tells you exactly how you think friction pacing is going to work in your company. Also, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and hit the bell icon. New videos are posted 5 times a week where we're talking about all things business and our lives that go around it. Make sure you do all those things for me. Thanks, guys. See you in the next video.